But I realized that with a lot of like high value girls, they wouldn't take their time, but I'm not really able to be more patient, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And kind of like struggling in that department, or maybe I'm not looking at it in the right view. I don't know what you think about that.
It's interesting. There's a catch-22 with this because your experiences so far have led you to think that if a girl is into you, then you'll end up sleeping with her very quickly. And so now it's kind of tricky to know if these higher value women who it makes sense if they take some time to get intimate, but it also can mess with your mind a little bit and you're used to having sex very quickly.
Yeah.
I've had the same thing as well, and I do wonder the same question. What I've found is that honestly, even the higher value, more like pure kind of girls, if you are like that guy for them, they'll still want to get intimate very quickly. Those desires, no matter for if a girl is religious or amazing values, those desires will be there. Now you may not end up actually sleeping with them right away, but you'll very clearly see that she is like extremely sexually attracted to you, and it's almost like frustrating her because she's got these values to wait. Whereas sometimes with these like higher value girls who like know their worth, they kind of play it off a little bit and they're like, oh, like I'm gonna wait because I know my worth and stuff. But like a girl
Yeah,
who's
yeah,
totally
yeah.
into you, she can't really control herself. It's like it'll be hard for her to, and that's at the point when she'll like seek like help with her, like let's say it's a Muslim girl or something and she's got like Muslim friends and they're speaking about it and everything and they're like holding her back, but you can kind of see that yeah, she's really really into you, like she actually wants you and everything. And I think
True.
more and more we're seeing more girls who are adopting this sort of like, oh, I'm a high value woman, I'm pure and everything. And it's a question to ask yourself. One, you need to know how long you're willing to wait to get this level of intimacy, because it is extremely important. And I think a lot of people will gaslight you. I think I'm glad you asked me this question because I've went through this myself, but a lot of other people who you ask this to will gaslight you and say like, oh, you're being a fuckboy, oh, it's not that important, you should just wait and stuff. But it is an extremely important part of the relationship. It's perhaps the most important part is love, and the most important part of love is having sex, so it is very important. Likewise though, or on the other hand, you should kind of expect a woman who's got amazing family values and who's way more of like a mother and wife quality to spend longer evaluating you, because if she doesn't do that, then she's kind of symbolized that she is lower quality and that she slept around because she's found it easy to do so with you. So there's a catch-22.
Yeah, I guess what frustrates me, or there was this one time, I met this very, very, probably like the most like beautiful girl I've ever been with. She was half Norwegian, half Middle Eastern, like brunette, green eyes, very stunning, very beautiful, very kind as well. And on the first date, went very well. Very respectable girl. And the second date we went on, also very nice. It was kind of like a double date with one of my best friends and his girlfriend. We went to this very nice Chinese restaurant, and after that, this is the second date, so we know each other a lot more, and we're kind of like holding hands and stuff, right? And we were like holding hands for like 5-10 minutes, like not really doing anything, flirting a little bit back and forth. It's obvious she likes me, but after 10 minutes, she's like, wait, hold on. We can't be hand flirting and flirting like on the second date. Like, what am I doing? And then she kind of like pushed me away. And I get her point, but in the moment it frustrated me because why aren't you just like giving into your feelings? I know you want to do this, but why do you want to like keep this like facade of like being like a nice girl? I find it a little bit childish. So that's why like I usually get frustrated and like just don't talk to them, or like maybe get a little emotional too.
Have you thought that something like that might be more of a test?
Honestly, of course, it is a test, but I just find the test childish. But I realize that that is hurting me more than uh, impacting me in a good way. I should just understand that that's female nature, and high value girls will maybe do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think evaluating something that a woman does, especially at this very intimate, very emotional, important time of her life when, you know, she's picking a guy, evaluating it in the sense that, oh, you know, it's a little bit childish, she's somewhat testing me, she's playing games, it's kind of annoying, why doesn't she just kind of, you know, just be intimate if she wants to be intimate, why is she like holding on to these same values, and why is she, you know, not proceeding forward even though she wants to. You can drive yourself insane with that. And I think the way to go about it is like, you seem quite skillful and like knowledgeable. You know what it would take to kind of resolve this. It's just that right now your own perception and your own emotions about the situation are kind of making the situation worse for you, rather than you just skillfully doing the right things, which would then maintain her attraction and you'd get past these games.
Yeah, I see your point, because I did like, we were speaking on the phone, and like I kind of it was a misplay. In my opinion, it was a miscalculation. I shouldn't have done it. But like I kind of like somewhat got irritated towards her on the phone, like just calling her out on like being childish in a sense. Like, if you want to do something, do it. Like, don't like keep up with these games, because I don't have time for that. Just be honest with me, you know, just be direct. That's what I like. And in my head, it wasn't like, I wasn't mad, but the way I said it, when I think about it, and since we're on the phone and she's not seeing my face, I realized that, wait, I'm sounding like I sound mad in a sense, like I sound like really angry, like on the phone, but I'm actually not. But in her perspective, it sounded that way. And after I told her, like, you don't need to play these games or be like childish, she said like, no, I'm actually not being childish. And then she hung up. But the way she said, I'm actually not being childish, was like, she was almost disappointed in me. She was like a little bit sad almost. And when she hung up, I was like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have said that, you know? And now I don't talk to this girl anymore. So obviously, like, based on the aftermath, it was a misplay.
You messed up the test, man, honestly. The test was just kind of to see if you would maintain your composure. So you've just held hands, you've been having fun and stuff, and she's like, oh, well, I can't be hand flirting with you. It's just like, make like some kind of joke about the situation, or play it off or something, like keep it lighthearted. If you took it so seriously that like it kind of destroyed any level of like romantic flirting, and you kind of just told her off, and that's like, it's not sexy at all. You told her off, you told her like, oh, and then she got, you know, offended, and she gets like a sense of righteousness from like, you know, hanging up the phone and not speaking to you. So I'd say you messed up there, but I'd say this is something that happens quite commonly for you and for me and for the majority of the guys dating right now. Is like, you will go through some of these tests, you'll go through girls just acting in like somewhat of a weird way, and generally you can always just bring it back to like the things that we know that women are receptive to, which is like, just playfully tease them. Like, if you take honestly 80% of what a woman does to you when you're in like a romantic situation, if you take that seriously, you'll be messing up. It's like, you've got to just see her as like, everything she does, even though when she acts serious, you've got to see it almost in like a light-hearted way, which can't move you as like the stoic masculine rock that you are. You kind of showed her that you're not a stoic rock in this case. You're more like just a fucking paper bag that's like flying with the wind of her sort of mother nature. Like, you allowed yourself to be moved instead of just staying stuck there of like, I think it's normal to hold hands, she doesn't want to, I'll almost like tease her for it.
What would you do in that situation, do you think? Like, how would you respond?
It's hard without the build-up of the context. Every time this question is asked to someone and the guy responds in what normally would be like a good response if he did it then, it seems really cringe when you say it on like a call with no sort of, you know, like there's no context to it.
Yeah, okay, not your answer, but what do you think like would have been the best reaction in a sense? Just like not being non-reactive? Is that what you're saying?
I'd always go with like teasing and joking. I think that, because you can be just kind of silent and like, oh, like, you know, I'm unemotional, I don't care that she doesn't want to hold hands, or like, and then just stand there by yourself, like, or some shit. But I always find that just like teasing a girl when she's acting like this is the best way. So I'll just be like, oh, okay, I'll hold my own hand then, and obviously do it in like somewhat of a jokey way, some shit like that. You just make up something, and it's just like, you amuse yourself. And if you amuse yourself and this girl really is attracted to you and respects you, then she'll automatically get amused by that too. We'll leave it there, man. What was your name? Eamon.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you,
Thank
man.
you, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate you doing this, speaking to your followers and all of that.
You're welcome, bro. Do you want to say anything to the boys before you go?
Guys, do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it.
Mwah.
All right, take care.